Today we will discuss about Git cheat sheet. So what are the Git command which is used for the development and development purpose. So like while we are doing any development based on any of technology like Java with a Spring Boot, microservices or any others or DevOps things. In that cases we need some of the Git command. So that Git command, what are the common Git command we are using on daily basis. So we will discuss all are the common Git command which is used for the development, testing, or if you are doing some clone the code, if you are anything, if you are doing for this code related, then we need to use the Git which is used to update the code in repository or clone the code from the repository to local. So we have a first Git command. This is Git configuration. So the Git configurations, we have Git config. So get and set the configurations variable. So while you are doing any changes, before that we need a git config, so that will be set your configuration variable that control all fact how git look and operate. So all those things will come while you created git config. So how we will create a git config? So directly you do open this git bash command. So that git bash command, you open, then you do git config hyphen global user. So that username, whatever your username which will be provided from the client or company, so that username you have to do. And others is the git config hyphen global users email id. So that email id will your email id of company email id, so you can provide. So this is the configurations. And then we have set the default editor. If you want, you can also set the default editor whichever you like how you will do set config like git config. So this is the configuration related command, git config. So hyphen global core dot editor vm or notepad or any others tools you are comfortable, that you can put it here. And check all the settings, like whatever the configurations you have done. So these all the settings list will be there in this. Check the settings. So git config hyphen list. So all this list will list of configurations details will come in this list. If you want to change some of the name, that is called alias. So git alias will modify your name. So that git config hyphen global alias dot go checkpost. Like git config hyphen global alias dot br means branch, means co means checkout. So if you what you are doing, checkout we have a, so that checkout you are putting alias co means checkout. If you have branch, you are putting just short form name of alias, rename of that or short form br. Commit we have ci, so that others can understand, oh, ci means commit, br means branch, co means checkout, and st means status. So you can also put the alias if you want. These are some of the company or organizations we seen, they are doing this alias, so that a standard form or short form they are using in that time while they are doing from this git operations. Other, while you are starting a project, in that time you need to initialize the git. So create a local repository in your local machine, either your any your local machine or window related, or maybe any other operating system. In that you have to create a local repository. So how? So while you create it, then you have to initialize that. So git init repo name, whatever the local repository you put it, you have to initialize that git init and then repo name, so that your git will initialize your repository name in your local repository. And after that, clone. So make a copy of server repository. So if you want to clone, then directly you have to git clone and remote url means server url, where your github.com, there we have a multiple repository. So whatever the repository you want to clone, in that you have to select and then clone the url, remote url, git clone remote url. And if you have modified some local changes in your local machine, once you modify the changes, so that you have to add this in your local changes. So how you will add a file to a staging index area. So that add information will be there, like these all are the modified changes in your local which is added in your git command. So git add and the file name, either you have all the file or maybe particular file name. If you have particular file name, then you have to add the file name, or single file you have, then you can add. If you have multiple files are there changes which need to be add in your local changes in git, then git add star. The strict will be there, that is strict is called a star. So all the files which is there, the changes that will come. If you want by name all the file name you have to mention, then git add and file name. Once you added your changes in local git, then you have to commit this. So how you will commit? So we have git commit. So record a snapshot of the file permanently in the version history. Once you commit, then this all will be happen permanently in your the version history, so with the message. So whatever the message or comment you are doing while committing. So git commit -m commit message. So that commit message will show like, oh, this task is related for this Jira ID, or maybe. So better you have to commit with your Jira ID and then some description while committing. So git commit -m and then Jira ID description. So that is committed in your local repository. Once you added and after that you committed. Now someone want to track the changes, like what are the changes, or if you want to track the changes, either whatever the commit I have done is correct or not. So how you will track? We have a difference. So track the changes that have not been staged. So git difference. So that git difference will check like what are the differences there, either before changes, these all are the file which was there in your local, now you have modified these changes, so that difference will come. Track the changes that have staged but not commit. But also if you want to change the stage changes, like git difference -- stage not committed, like you have added only but not committed. See, before that we seen like there was some addition or happened, like adding, but commit is not happen, means like it is going for the staging stage in next area. So while you want to check the difference before committing, you want to check the difference, either whatever the changes there is correct or not, then you can do git difference, git diff -- stage, means whatever the added file is there and whatever the before file, they will show the difference. Then also track the changes after commit. So if you have committed that file and now you want to track, so how you will track this? So git different head. So once you committed the file, then git diff head, track the changes between two commits. Suppose if you have one commit happen, like you have created some file and that you modified, added, committed, again after some changes, maybe the others Jira ID you are working and you have modified some other changes for the second Jira and you also committed. So how you will compare what are the first committed for the first Jira ID, second commit for the second Jira ID. So you can also commit these things, like you can define the difference, git diff commit 1 -sha, then commit 2 -sha, because commit 1 sha and commit 2 sha, because while you are committing there is some sha unique ID will be created, so you can differ based on this track changes. And if you want to check the branch difference, then diff branch 1 and branch 2, like we have a features branch, we have master branch, we have some other branch like new feature branch or maybe second feature branch, then how you will compare from master to features to master others, so that you can do the git diff. So these all are the basic command which we are using on daily basis. And one is a status command which will be show the state of working directory and staging. So if you will check git status, so in that status will show all the state, either this file or maybe the context you have modified is committed or not, if added or not. If added, then it will show that the red icon. If you committed, then it will show the green icons like that. So there's a status. Through that status you can know, like if you forgot to commit, and then you can check the status, so that you will confirm our changes has committed or maybe not committed and added in this, like that. Git show the object, like git show object and options, git show options object, so that will be show the all these informations. And commit history, suppose if you want to check the commit history, then we have also git log. Once you committed, now display the most recent commit and a status of the head, like whatever the last commit happened. For that you need to check the recent commit and a status, but either that changes is approved or not, or all the status rejected, PR is approved or reviewed and all. So how you will do this? Logs, git logs will show all the information, like git logs and most recent committed, which is there in your local, or if you want in your remote also. Based on that, you git log, you can check. Display the output of and one commit per line. So if you want to display the output as one commit per line, then git log hyphen one line. Display the file that we have modified. So what are the file you modified? Then based on that, git log hyphen step you can do. Display the modified file with location, like where what some file you have modified and which location is there. So git log hyphen p. So these all are the history which will be show the git logs. And we have blame, so git blame, display the modification of each line of a file. Then git blame file name, like you have some file modified, then git blame will show all the lines, what are the modification is happened for this line, a line, first line, second line, third line modification, fourth line modifications, like that. Ignoring the file, so while we committing any code, there will be some multiple unnecessary files will be there that we need to ignore. If you are not ignoring that file also will be committed by default. So better you have to do the git ignoring. So git ignore, specify internally untracked file, and that should be ignored. So how? Git dot git ignore, like touch, we have a touch dot git ignore. List of ignore file will show what are the ignore file you added, so that will be skipped every time. Git ls hyphen file minus I dash dash exclude hyphen standard, so that will be excluded, whatever the files will be there, unused file will be excluded. We have branching, so that branching, while you created a branch, then this will be happen. So we have branching technique. So while we use branching, so there is a create branch, so we can do the create branch. So git branch name, git branch name you can do, so that whatever the branch is there, that will be so. Like if you want to create a branch, git branch name, so that new branch will be created. If you have list of branch which you created already before in your local or in your remote is already there some of the branch, then you can check git branch list of branch, git branch hyphen list. If you want to delete a branch, then git branch hyphen d means delete, because it's a prefix. So git branch hyphen d and the branch name. Delete the remote branch. This is the local branch which you have deleted. If you want to delete from remote, then how you will do? Git push origin hyphen delete branch name. So git push origin hyphen d delete branch name, so that the delete branch from remote, so that the branches will be deleted from remote. If you want to rename the branch, then also we have git branch hyphen m means modify, hyphen m means modify or modification. So git branch hyphen m old branch name and the new branch name, so that rename your old branch to new branch. Checkout means you want to check out your, means like switch to new branch, or maybe branches in repository, or switch for the particular branch, whatever branch if you want. So git checkout, and whatever the branch name you have created, then you can switch back to that branch to mention the branch name. If you want to create a new branch and then switch back or switch to, then you need to git checkout -b branch name. So checkout -b means create a new branch, -b means create a branch, new branch and the branch name. So that will be create and checkout in this particular branch. If you want to check out for the remote branch, then you have to do the git checkout remote branch, the remote branch name. Stash is used for, stash is switch branch without committing for the current branch. So stash means like you have to switch the branch without committing. You have added the changes but you haven't committed, so that a stash has been created. So now you want to switch the branch, so without committing, so git stash. And if you want to save, because you haven't committed and you want to save the statuses with method, then git stash save, because you are not committing, just you are saving for the particular future purpose. So git stash save staging message. And then if you want to check the stored stash, so whatever the stored, like whatever the save stashes is there that you want to see, so git stash list, reapply the changes that you just stashed, git stash and apply. Like suppose you modified some changes again in this stashes, like save stash, so you want to reapply the changes, you have modified something and now you want to reapply, so git stash apply. Track the stashes and their changes, like how many changes happen in your stashes, so you want to track, so git stash show. So the show means all the changes will be tracked, will show. Reapply the previous commit, like suppose you have done some like you have done some committed, and after that reapply the previous commit, so git stash pop means whatever the stashes you created or saved, that will be deleted, and previous commit was there, so that will be replied. Like first there was some commit was there, after that you have stashed because you haven't committed anything but you stashed multiple times. Now you want to do for the previous commit, so git stash pop means all the latest changes which was there in stashes, that will be removed because you haven't committed, and now you want to go for the before commit or previous commit. Delete the most recent stash from the queue, like whatever the recent stashes are there, means you have saved some data or code in the particular file or particular folders. Now this stashes has created but you haven't committed, now you want to delete, so git stash the drop, so whatever the latest stashes is there, that will be drop or delete. Delete all the available stashes at once, means all the stashes which you haven't committed but you have saved, so all the stashes. Then git stash clear. Stash work on separate branch, so git stash branch and branch name. Suppose if you want to work on particular branch where you have to save, then git stash branch name. What is cherry pick? Apply the changes introduced by someone existing commit, like someone has done the existing commit, in that you want to do the supply changes, some changes you need, like git cherry pick, git cherry -pick commit id, means git cherry pick, like apply the changes introduced by someone, some existing commit. Apply the changes introduced by some existing commit means like if you have done some of the changes of existing commit, so for that you need to apply, so git cherry pick and commit id you have to put. Merging, wow, if you want to merge either branch, so the git merge and branch name. So that will be merged, means like whatever the A branch detail that B branch is, that will be merged. Merge the specific commit with current active branch, like git merge and then commit whatever. If you want to merge with particular current commit or a specified commit active branch inside the active branch, or maybe the master or any others, then git merge then commit. Rebase. What is rebase? Apply the sequence of commit from distinct branch into a final commit. So git rebase, rebase name. Continue rebase process, then git rebase continue. Abort, if you want to abort this, then git rebase hyphen skip. Rebase is just used for the sequence of commit from distinct branch from final commit. Interactive rebase. So what is interactive rebase? Allow various operations like edit, rewrite, reorder, or more of existing commit. So git rebase hyphen I. Then we have a remote is called server. So inside that git remote, check out the configuration of the remote server. What are the configurations and all? If you do the check, then git remote hyphen p. Add a remote for a repository, then git remote add sort name remote URL. Git remote add sort name, subname, and remote URL. So that add a remote for a repository. Fetch the data from remote server, get fetch and the remote. Remove the remote connection from repository, get remote RM destination. Rename remote server, git remote, rename old name and then last new name. Git remote rename. Rename remote server, git rename, git remote rename old and rename. So additional information about particular remote, git remote show remote, change the remote, then git remote set URL, and then you can change the remote also, remote name, new URL. So that new URL will be transferred, whatever the existing that will not work, and new URL will be transferred with the remote name. Git origin master, like push the data remote server, put the data in remote server. So the additional information about particular remote, then git remote show remote, change remote, then you can change the set URL name and then remote and new URL name. Like that, we have multiple command are there which is used for on daily basis. If you are going for some DevOps related work or maybe developer or testing and you need GitHub or Bitbucket or maybe Git Bash and others, then you can go for this all command. So check out like a git origin master. So push the data to remote server. Git push origin means your local branches which you are there currently to master. Git push origin means you are whatever the present branch in your local to master you want to. So you are pushing the data. After commit you need to push. If you want to pull the remote data, then git origin from master. Like in this origin where you are there and you are pulling the master data from remote to origin current local branch, and then pushing update, git push, like transfer the commit from your local repository to remote repository, pushing. So git push origin master. Force push means like git push remote branch forcefully, like if you want to push the data forcefully. So delete a remote branch by pushing. So git push origin hyphen delete edited. So that remote branch will be deleted and new branch which you are pushing that will be continued here. Then pull, this is the pull. So that pull also we have git pull the data from server. So git pull origin and then master means you need to clone the data from server to local. Pull a remote branch. So git pull remote branch URL. either you can mention. And fetch, what is fetch? Then download the branch and tag from one or more repository. Fetch means download the branch and tag from one to more repository. So fetch and the remote repository, like get fetch remote URL, get fetch a specified branch, get fetch branch name, URL branch name, get fetch all the branches and fetch all. Synchronize the local repository, get fetch origin. Undo the changes. Suppose if you want to revert some changes, then get revert for particular commit, then you can go for the get revert commit -is. Reset, if you want some changes to reset, then get reset -r. So what are the changes is there that will be removed. Suppose if you have made some mistake and you don't want to commit or you don't want to change, then if you have do the changes, then after that you can do the git reset -r. So whatever the current changes will be there, that will be removed. Git reset -soft, git reset -mixed, like this. So these all are the reset for the changes, depends on the requirement. We can go for hard, soft, mixed. Removing all file, then git remove. So remove all the working from the index. So git remove rm file name, remove the file the git, but keep the file in your local repository. So git remove -cache. So that will be remove the file from git but keep in the local repository, so that will be stayed in local repository. So like that we have, these all are the command which we are using on daily basis. So multiple interview questions also it will be asked. Git command also we use while we are as a developer, tester, or any DevOps engineer or any UI engineer or not. So then we have to use it because we need to copy paste for the code from the local to server or server to local or remote to server, local or local to remote. While we are doing in that cases, we will go for this git and all. Depends on the company. Some of the company will use GitHub, some of the company will use Bitbucket, some of the company will use different tools like that. So while we use GitHub or Bitbucket and all, so we have a git bash command is there. So that by using git bash we can open and execute these all are the command. So that while you use, then you can clone, update, modify, delete, rename, all the operations you can perform. Yeah, that's it from my side. Please subscribe if you like, and this will be asked for this real-time interview questions also in your real-time life while you are working of any project, any company or any client. Then you have to do all those changes on daily basis.